fine.
For sure, mate. That's great. Okay, now here's my next question. Now, what do you think of the performances by the actors Mario, Luigi, and other characters? So for example, now we know about we're talking a lot about Key as being Cooper, not Cooper, excuse me, Toad.
Code.
Yeah,
I
and
liked Key. I liked it in the, but he was underutilized. He could have been. I think he should have been used more, but that's more of a storytelling, a story narrative. It's the hero's journey. I'm thinking
mm,
about in that regard. He needed there to be there to help Mario as the audience surrogate to kind of
for
figure out
sure.
what was going on. But again, as I said before, the film assumed you knew this, you know this world, you know the rules. So when stuff happened that Mario didn't understand, but the audience understood, it's fine.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and then when it comes to, I got to say the voice acting. I mean, I didn't even recognize Key at some points. I'm like, wow. I mean, I think I've seen little bits and pieces on YouTube, but I didn't watch the whole thing because I didn't want any spoilers. But people were kind of shocked at his voice, and I feel the same way about Jack Black. I couldn't hear Jack Black at all. As far as I was like, is that Bowser? They must be doing something funny, special effect to his voice. But Jack Black voice, I just expected to hear something high pitched. But him being Bowser, I was like, good grief! Wow, he's got some impressive vocals skills. I didn't. I mean, yeah. I mean, I gotta say, I don't know. What do you think, in your opinion?
I think Jack Black was one of the standouts in that because as a Jack Black fan, I've
Mm,
seen a lot of his movies, not all, but a lot. And I liked Tenacious D as a band. So when he's growling at the audience, at his minions, he sounds like a Bowser. But
Ah,
in his softer moments,
mm,
you can hear Jack Black. You can absolutely hear him, or those kind of peaks when he in his anger.
mm,
Yeah, that's quintessential Jack Black.
cool.
You could hear it the same in Poe in Kung Fu Panda when he goes, it goes up. You're like, oh, there's a Jack Black moment.
Ah,
Um, Charlie Day as Luigi, chef's kiss. Oh, no notes. The dude nails it. Luigi's supposed to be the cowardly but kind-hearted brother to the bombastic Mario, and he absolutely crushes it. Even at the beginning, when they're getting to know each other, and there's a throwaway moment, I think, that really defined the DK and Mario's relationship at the beginning before they go to the Mushroom Kingdom. The dad's says you're a fool, or like you're doing
yeah,
the wrong thing because you quit a good job to pursue this plumbing thing, and you're bringing your brother down with you. So
interesting.
this was the Super Mario plumber thing was Mario's idea, and Luigi wanted to help him by his own admission. He says, "I want to do this with you." But the father doesn't see it that way. The father thinks, no, you're dragging your kind, sweet, gentle brother, the baby brother, down with you. And that's a parent berating a middle child or for bringing the baby, the younger sibling with them. Because the younger sibling needs to be protected.
Wow.
Mario's had to push himself for exposure, whereas Luigi's kind of been babied a little bit and a little bit nervous, a little bit less shy. I like that. I liked that they added this human element, this family element to
Yeah.
Mario and Luigi, as opposed to them being, oh, they're brothers. And you're like, okay, well, where's the rest of you? Oh no, here they are. Yeah, it's a bit of an Italian stereotype, but their voice acting, Charlie Day's acting, perfect. I the princess's voice grated on me because not the voice actor. The voice actor was fantastic. She was great, but Peach's character grated on me a little bit. But in the first half, in the second half, my frustration with her actually came about and became a positive.
Mm.
So but her confident, kind of clear voice worked so well. I forget the actress's name, but
Anna
she was
something.
very good.
Anya.
Yes, thank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there was a bad call, but a lot of these characters they didn't bring a particular personality to the voice.
Mm.
They merely played the role. The script did the heavy lifting.
Right.
Charlie Day brought a little bit of a cowardly panic to his voice. Jack Black brought a bombastic, overwhelming presence to Bowser.
Mm.
Anna brought, a not smarmy, but a cool, effortless confidence to Peach. They all brought something to it, but I don't think their voices defined the role.
That's a
They
good point.
weren't
Yeah,
the actor. It wasn't the actor's vehicle. It was the
yeah.
script's vehicle.
I think that's the best thing is because they say you got Toy Story. Tom Hanks. Without Tom Hanks, you haven't really got Toy Story. And
No,
exactly, so the
no.
Tim Burton
He
Batman.
made the
Mm.
Woody.
So with this now, if by any, I mean, this is one thing. It's especially in today's generation, with things like AI, scaring some people. Personally, I'm not too scared of it. I feel it's one thing that Japan's got right. As long as you've got traditional values and the good grasp of technology. Yeah, technology doesn't outpace you. I think it outpaces people who keep trying to chase it. For example, like I was saying in one of my reactions to one of my songs, like gospel music, you got artists
Mm.
like Drake, and he's had an AI song that came out and went viral. And people were like, oh no, it sounds like Drake. Well, I reacted. I didn't think it was that great, but it was a nice start. That being said, when you got artists just singing about themselves and me, they're replaceable. It's funny. It's a kind of ironic paradox. Like you think the more you talk about how special you are, the more protected you are, but actually the more replaceable you are. When you talk about more traditional things that, I mean, you can't have AI sing for a gospel singer because the whole point of church is that you sing. It's like an offering of the singing. So when it comes to things like Japan and so on, even the Mario characters, there's something of a soul to it. That is to say, something that even if a computer was to create a Mario game, if people were to know that Shigeru personally was had a hand in making this Mario piece, people would gravitate towards that a lot more than now piece. Of course, with AI, can get a lot of quantity and churning out stuff, but this is why Stadia, I don't think even held that much ground because you can have a lot of money and stuff to throw at something, but if you haven't got that soul to it, that people actually
Yeah.
care about the IP, it's then it just doesn't
Oh.
hold. So that's why I
Stadia
feel.
could have been such a Stadia was such a good idea. I'm so sad that Google were the ones to do it. Holy moly, they
Yeah,
just they assume Google has historically assumed that when they stepped in, everything would work out. They failed in a number of ventures because they didn't commit to it. They didn't,
mm,
put in the effort. They were like, "Hey, we'll throw some money at it," and when it doesn't work, we're like, "Oh, why didn't it work?" Because you didn't work at it. You didn't do anything with it.
exactly, and that's why I feel had the Mario. This is what makes the Mario franchise quite strong because it's got not to take away from another question, but is that element that even if you switch the voice actors, if they do a good job, people would give it a chance. I I was particularly attached to one of the Pokemon voice actors when I was watching the TV show, and then they switched them all out. I was like, oh man, that's not something I really cared for. Of course, my nephew's like, so what? And he kept watching, and I was like, yeah, I suppose this some characters are that strong that even if the voice actor was switched, if the next person coming out did a strong job, people still follow the IP. But again, Toy Story, you got that's not happening. So yeah, so that's exactly it. I'm sorry, I must have jumped to the third question. This is a nice
No,
talk.
no, 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 no. Let's do the third question in informal though.
Mhm.